Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oop-a-doo. Hello. Good to see if people are here. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm getting some music going as well. So just let me know if you can hear music, if you can hear sound or not. Awesome, good you can hear me. You can probably also hear my dog, who is complaining that she is locked out of my room. Okay, there's some copyright-free music. Now just set up the rest of my screens while we're waiting for things to come along. My sister dog is such a whiny baby. I have a little cat door that I've put into my door so that the cats can go in and out of my room anytime they want. And she's currently sticking her nose through the cat door and complaining that she's not being allowed into the bedroom. Everything. Just need to pull up the actual request stream assets. Nope, that's my commission form. Public commissions. Request stream. Here we go. Heck yeah. Hello, Shimeon. Nice to see you here. We're just getting stuff all set up and about to go start the actual stream here in 2 minutes or so. Let's see. Random number wheel. It's alright. We'll try and figure out who everyone is in general. It's a low-key stream. So. chat over there. Got this over here. And okay, random thing that I really hate. That like that setting that Windows has where like if you shake a web page, it completely like gets rid of all the rest of the things on the screen. That bugs me. Because sometimes I'll accidentally shake one of the windows, and then I have to re-pull everything back up. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that you think my art's very gender. Yep, lurking is actively encouraged. And looks like we are just about on time to start. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to my stream. Welcome for everyone who's new, and welcome to everyone who's been here for ages. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna turn down the music just a little bit so I can think better. And because the thinking is not working super great today, but I'm all right. I got some food, got some water. So let's get into this. Looking at my request form right here, looks like we got 20 responses, which is awesome. Lots of fun options to start drawing with. I'm gonna go ahead and just spin and let's get our first issue. Good luck with the brain shovel. Do you bring a spare? I wish. That would be nice. Just have a brain in a jar that I can pop in whenever my thinking is not good. No whammies, yeah. Ooh, starting off on auspicious number 13. So let's see who our first victim is. Guess it's just real popular. I mean, we are covering like multiple, it's anybody who's $5 and up as a patron that can put stuff in here. So I've got a decent amount of $5 and up patrons, which is nice. Okay, looks like our first victim is actually Azure Bunny, and they want a kobold transformation shrunken out of clothes. Nice. Hello, Azure. Looks like you are lucky number 1. Let's pull up your references. Ah, yes. And we've seen this ref quite a few times, which is good to... Very familiar with Azure's ref. But still, I love that you give it to me every time. It definitely helps me out. Yep, very lucky timing. Alright, let's go ahead and start with... So, we want you wanted a kobold, someone transforming out of their clothes into a kobold. So, like, lots of shrinking and that sort of stuff. And the real question is, do we want to go reptile kobold, or do we want to go more like the Japanese style kobold? Like the more dog-like dungeon meshy kobold. Because both could be fun. What do you think, Azure? Is there a specific preference you have, or do you want me to just go for it? Okay, I'm just doing some test marks to see where I'm at. Well, for whatever reason, the Japanese style of kobold, they're more dog-like. So, like, rather than reptilian, they tend to be just like puppies. Puppy time. Like, let me show you. So, like, for example, with, we got some Dungeon Mesh examples, but it's in other Japanese work. So, sort of like hyenas or just dogs in general. And I think it happened because when they were first drawn in, like, some of the early D&D art, they were a good mix between, dog and reptile. And so when they diverged just because of how people like to draw them in different places. Well, so give it a little thought, and okay. So give it a little thought, and I will start by putting in at least a little sketch work while you're thinking over whether you want it to be more dog-like or reptile-like. Oh, reptile? Okay. Can do. Now, let's see what... Since we're going reptile, let's get some fun little tail action in there. And I'm thinking we want sort of a standard-ish pose. I'm imagining that you've got some, like, good drapey, flowy cloth going on. I'm not quite liking the position of this head. But maybe. Yeah, something like that. Alright, so reptile style kobold. Add another layer to get a little bit more. This is the under sketch, and then I got my regular sketch on top. Let's zoom on in so that I can get detailed with it. That's too much. There we go. That's a good amount of zoom. Scoochy. Maybe a little bit lighter. Nice and light so that I don't, because sometimes if the undersketch is too dark, it's hard to differentiate lines. Now, I want to do like small but mighty type of kobold, like, because one of their big things, at least in D&D, is that they're good tiny trap makers. Like, they will, when working together, like, make real good traps. So I want them to look like they're capable, just small. And let's get some leg definition in here. Fell for the kobold trap. Let's go ahead and let's look up some cute lizards. Because it's always good to get some fun, real-life reference in there. I really like a lot of these head shapes. Just the more, the kind of the more flat ones. So let's see if we can get some of that in there. That, and I kind of want to get like sort of a long neck. And some more feetsies. I do like the little spike that I put here, so I'm going to repeat that option. Bulk up them legs a little more. Some more claw type feet. Why is my eraser that big? It doesn't need to be that big. Let's go ahead and get some good claw hands in here. And like I said, we got to get that little tail in there. The sketch is wanna pull that a little tighter. I am not happy with how that came out. Let's go ahead and turn that tail. Tails are pretty nice. Oh, welcome, Mr. Spiffy. Good to see you here. Let's get some. Let's put an angle on this so that I can draw curves better, because they always come out better when you're going the same direction, you know? Okay, we kind of want it to connect right there into that like crotch area. Do a little bit of erase in here to clean everything up. Should I have put this on another layer? Probably, but I am gonna ink this stuff afterwards, so it can be a little spaghetti at the beginning. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing all right, Corey. I did a lot of organizing today. Namely, I share a house with my siblings. In that, my brother and I both like bought the house, but we rent to my little sister. And so we decided that we were like, okay, listen, we kind of want to reorganize the kitchen so it's a bit more, a bit more separated, so everybody buys their own groceries and doesn't like. So that I can buy our own groceries and not worry about stuff. So we set about reorganizing the kitchen today so that everybody has their own space and their own separate cupboards and all that sort of stuff. So that was nice. If a little, tiresome. All right. Let's get to some important bits. Namely, we want to make sure we know that this guy is a schmoll. A little small thing. A little lizard. Let's see. So, let's go ahead and make him a big t-shirt outfit. Which, you know, did I have to technically draw all the stuff underneath? Not really. But it was useful. So now we know where all the things go. And then this all goes over here. Go ahead and make this maybe a little bit droopier. Taking rest is important for being productive, so it's good to do both. Rest and productivity. Okay. I'm gonna switch my brushes, yeah, because this one's got a little bit. There we go. A little bit better of a nib. I ended up with 2 Wacom pens that I use. Mostly because, you know, in order to... because one of them's older, one of them's newer. I thought I had lost one, and then it showed up again afterwards. I'm off sick most of the week, but I'm surviving. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you've been sick. That sucks. Okay. We got our shirt on. Let's pull this, actually. I drew this a bit too close to the body. Because if this is a regular t-shirt, then the arm hole would probably be somewhere over here-ish. Again, like a little kid wearing their baggy shirt. Now to decide on facial features and structure. So, got Corey, his original human ref. And usually I try to keep a little bit of the original human ref in there so that so that the character's recognizable. And usually with Azure, I try to keep that curly hair as like a calling card. But when you're a reptile, I'm not quite sure how we could translate that. Because reptiles and hair is kind of a hard thing. Okay, maybe I don't want the big old reptile neck. Let's see. I'm almost kind of tempted to do sort of like little dragony ears. I'm just playing around with stuff right now to see if I find a shape I like. Often hair's becoming feathers. Feathers might be fun. Sort of like, well, that's not very good, but like I kind of like the feathers idea. Okay. So, we want sort of humanoid collarbone area. And then let's look up just some traditional D&D kobolds. See what their some official art looks like at the moment. So here's some more of the like official art. Yeah, I don't want to care about that. I want to see the art. Let me see the image. Okay, so we got some fun, some little horns, cute little monstery frills. Okay. The classic bold. So let's... Okay, so we want the gaze to be right about there-ish. I think we want some fun lizardy eyes. And getting up close. I'm gonna pull like some snake inspiration and give you like the little uwu mouth, like, because snakes have an uwu mouth. It's silly, but they do. They've got like inbuilt little what's the word? They've got that dip right there. Most of them do, anyway. Then maybe increase snoot. Other big blizzardy eye. And do I want most of the ones I've seen have a sort of a cute little tattered ear instead, so let's go with that. Sort of a little gremlin-y tattered ear. And some horns. Little spikes. We did want some feathers to sort of represent the curly hair. Let's see if I can do that to my satisfaction. Or if it's not... Okay. This is annoying, but every single time I switch from doing mostly stuff on my small tablet, which I do at work, because I've been doing a lot of commissions recently, and so I work on my little iPad. I'll accidentally like try to like touch screen my big computer right here, and it frustrates me because I'm like, can't do that. It's not for this one. So we got little snake nose. Let's get some scales going down this way. Whoop. Some scaling. Kind of want to do like a little nose scale almost, like, yeah, that looks cute. And then tear that up a bit more. Well, let's see if I can pull some of the more feathery bits in via tail. Like, give them a little bit of a feathery tail, sort of snake, Quetzalcoatl feathered serpenty type tail. Okay, I'm putting this over in the other window because I want to make sure I look at the human ref and I'm able to pull elements of the human ref into the kobold. I'm gonna just try. Let's just try some hair. Like a little bit of semi-feathery hair. And we want it to kind of be just a little pokier than normal hair. Because we also want to make sure that, we convey that it's feathers rather than actual hair here. I'm gonna do like a little surprise eyes. Maybe like a little scale brow ridge. Okay. I'm thinking this isn't bad. Let's maybe add some more feathers around the bold. Make it more of a mix. Mix of burb and dragon. So that way it kind of works. Add a little bit of texturing on here. Maybe a little bit more like a, almost chickeny legs. So we can see both the burb and dragon influences. Let's get some feathers over this way as well. Carve some space out for him. Put a little bit of a snoot in there. I think I'm liking that. Let's pull back a bit. Okay, so obviously it needs some cleanup. What do you guys think? Little semi-feathery, scaly kobold. Maybe I can put some other torn cloth on the ground. Apply that you shredded out of some pants. What do you think, Zelo? Good enough to call done? Oh, not Zelo, Azure. Sorry, brain fog. Awesome. I'm glad you're happy with it. Let me go ahead and put your name on it. And we have Azure with their lovely little kobold. Alright. Hopping on to our next spin. Let's see who we're gonna get and who our second victim is. Okay, we can't do number 13 again. So, we're gonna go with number 14 because it was almost there. You saw it just spun a little bit over. Let's go with number 14. And number 14 is... Ah! How you do? So, looks like we want James mid-TF into Moth Girl. Maybe wearing a gothic elite outfit and twirling as they figure out new arms. James got stuff from Star Sequence. Alright. And you DM'd me this inspo, so let me just pull stuff up over here. And take a look at stuff. So, our victim is this fella from the sequence that I did before. And we want Gothic Lolita Moth Girl. Now, I know you also have this idea of sort of a moth girl. But I will go ahead and see if I can pull some more inspo and figure out a cute design here. All right. Back to our under sketch layer. I'm gonna pop that up just a bit while I'm working on it. And we want sort of a, oh, whoops, wrong way. Sort of a twirly pose, you said. So twirly pose. I'm gonna go like almost a little flamenco dancery for this twirl. Like yeah. So we're gonna see like this is their back. And then we get a nice swoopy shape like that. Because they've got, you know, they're holding that up. And you get to see some fun petticoat action, is what I'm thinking. Generally. Alright, let's zoom that down a bit. Get our body in here. Now, James is fairly well built from what I've seen, so I want to keep that vibe in there of like enough mature, like rather than like, oh, tiny cute Lolita girl, I want her to be a elegant and more grown Lolita, if that makes sense. Just because, you know, the original form is a bit more grown as well. More, I guess the right word for it is more elegant versus cutesy. Like, so she's still gonna be gorgeous. Yeah, like, gorgeous versus cutesy is, I think, the right way I want to phrase that. Okay. Let's see. Need to stop simplifying the body because that was a bit too small there. All right, so arms fit here, and so that means our butt is over here. Because we don't want to do that annoying thing where it's like, oh, boobs and butt, like, overly twisted broken spine. We're doing it's somewhat like that, but like, not too much, just because that is kind of unfeasible. See if I can't get this body right. Sometimes proportions don't like me. I feel like I gotta push this leg more. Like, it should be. I'm wanting sort of that curve, but I'm worried about it coming off as like too busted. Like I said, sort of flamenco dancery. Yeah, that's keeping it loose. Keeping it loose. We want the drama. So we gotta remember to push and somewhat cartoonify. We want the drama, we want the beauty. Okay. I'm getting fairly happy with that. Okay. Probably need to move the butt over even a bit more. Yeah. That's more where the butt would be. Yeah. I don't need to care about that because it's gonna be under a dress. So I need to stop worrying. And now to do a face. So it's still got a fairly long face, but again, we want to make sure we can recognize the character. Still, let's give her a nice defined brow line and a little bit of a softer jaw, but still a good jaw. And then let's figure out them ears. Them wing ears. Now, got a couple of different options for our mothy head setup. I don't need to restart. I'll do it later. Snooze. You want the other ones to show up a bit too. Now let's get real close and do some eyeballs. I feel like I want some nice long eyelashes, like almost femme fatale. And then for our noses, we more get just sort of a bridge with some with like no definition. And sort of like a soft O, like a soft kind of realizing just how pretty they are. I'm drawing the upper line thicker to sort of indicate just a little bit of cute makeup. Like the top lip has been, like the top lip has a little bit of makeup. I don't want that line. There we go. Now, got our big old bug eyes that go on the top of the head. And then some fun wings that go back, and with James's hair, why do I still have this ref up? I do like how I have his hair like sort of slick back. I think that'll read well if I put it under sort of a traditional Lolita headdress called the rectangular headdress. Let's see if I can manage all the things on the head. So, the way that these work, they're usually tied right here. And then, usually actually there's a bow or something right there. I might need to draw a little bit bigger so it's not grainy as hell. Hold on, guys. Wrong way. Oh yeah, I can draw bigger. Scoop. Merge everything down. Control T. There we go. Select, deselect. Yes, there's usually some sort of bow situation up here. But, you know, I'm almost getting like a cute little, like a little curl on the face. And then you do a tiny little bow up here. Doesn't need to be, because usually the reason why the Lolitas wear like head bows and other stuff like that is to balance out the dress, because you got a lot going on down on your body. So you want something up on the top of the head to sort of balance everything out. In this case, we already got a crud ton of stuff going down on the head. So let's maybe just make this a headband, a ruffly headband that goes underneath these big old moth antennae and around the wings and head. And then, although it's not like traditional for Lolita, I almost kind of want to keep this hair short. Like, just because she's got so much else going on, you know? And put a little bit of pupil indication in here. And zoom out. I am almost tempted to put some patterns on there. Okay. Kind of silly, but if I did patterns on the head wings, I kind of want them to do like a death's head moth. Push that gothic angle. Although they don't have it on the wings, but with eyes on the wings. That something with the hello 800, 8K. Yeah, maybe some eye spots would be cute on the wings. Get that little bit of visual creepy. Sort of a darker upper wing. I'm just, BSing here with these wing designs. But I like it. Okay. It can't take forever. So, let's get the outfit done. Let's go with a poof up here, and then like a 2-tier ruffle. That is my one downfall is with Lolita outfits is I tend to get too into the designing. Then let's put a corset on her because that would be cute. Corset. And almost sort of like a bustly back. Let's start by defining these curves down here, because she's going to be holding it, and you want these curves to be sweeping, like, because we want motion. Okay, so we got our motion-ish. We're missing some extra arms, but true. I'm gonna get this butt out of the way. Then definitely gonna have some petticoats going on under here and make this, you know, more three-dimensional. You gotta remember that fabric has two sides. Whoosh, whoosh. I almost like want lace detailing here up by the top. And then I might be going too far with this. Yeah. I think we can go with the wings haven't grown in yet. Sorry, the other arms haven't quite grown in yet. Excuse. And I'm cleaning up this silhouette a bit so you can tell that, you know, she is looking over her shoulder. So otherwise it's looking a bit, whoops. It's looking a bit too messy, almost. Oh, well, maybe I'm actually gonna maybe do a non-traditional and have like sort of a cold shoulder on the outfit. I think that looks cute. Something about up here doesn't quite look right, and I am unsure how to fix it at the moment. So, all right, let's figure it out. We want a bit more neck, I guess. And I'm sorry, but maybe a bit less boob. Just a little bit less. Yeah, boob is too high and not enough neck. That looks better, I think. Like, we want cute boob, but we need to make sure that boob is correct. If I could, I think maybe a little bit more lace on here. Again, very messy, but I promise I will be a lot cleaner once I ink it in. Then I definitely want a little lace cuff detail. Yeah, I probably should tie it off. Get just some basic shoes in there. Whoop. But yeah. All right. And there we go. A moth lady. Let's see who is next on our list. Spin. Jesus, I think it wants us to go in order this today, because we had 13, 14, now 15. So who's next? Okay. Looks like it is Tim Cosplay. And they said they want their cat persona wearing shorts and a cropped bolero with elbow-length sleeves, doing a cool battle pose with a sword, please. Okay. Awesome. Is Tim in our chat or today? I'd like to know. That's a fun cat. That's a fun cat. Let's go. Even if it's not on stream, let's give this a go. It's a fairly simple pose. Fairly simple request, so let's go for it. Put our guy over here in the corner, or well, actually, he's going up on the other screen so that I can see him. Sorry, chat, you don't get to see him. All right. Fair, yeah. Or well, I suppose you can make it even minier. All right. So, cool battle pose. If you need to sleep, definitely go. It's not worth it to try and stay up. But we still generally try to do folks' requests even if they're not here. So, don't worry, Shemian. All right. Let's see. I gotta focus on, unless it's like extremely, let's do something like this. He honestly kind of strikes me as like a dual wielder. So maybe something sort of like that. Yeah. Yeah, if you decide to go up temporarily, for the, go up temporarily, with your pledge, I would be willing to respect that. I don't know how Patreon would work with that, but like, if you wanna, I'd be down for it. I think they did just make us all change it so that, it like takes the money out the day people sign up versus at the beginning of the month, so it should be good to go. We should be able to just bump it up immediately, I think, and it'll just go take it out of your thing. Okay, so we got one leg here. And then one leggy here. Doing sort of a superhero-y almost type pose. Kind of Errol Flynning it with the swords. Actually, here, I change the pose so that it's more like it's coming straight at us. Yeah! The foreshortening on that sword is gonna suck, but it'll look really cool. Scooch everything over. Yeah. Wait, no. Control Z. Alright. Select. Go round ding. Now I can move it. Okay. There we go. Better. Get this out of the way so I can complain about it later. You guys get the general idea, yeah? Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I think I've made this guy too large in general. Had opposite problems with both these guys. Too big, too small, and then too large. Just can't win, can I? Almost Goldilocks-y. Control Z. Let's have this tail be like, yeah, a bit more. No. So if the tail is here, we kind of want it up and alert, because that's just how excited cats make known that they're alert. Of course, I should also just turn it the right way to make it flow better. So. Okay, I'm still not happy with where I put this tail. So let's figure out the rest of this before I do that. Okay, that works. That works. Yeah, hunting kitties are very cute. Got them big ol' eyes. Alright, now let's get the kitty face in. And let's give him some airplane ears. Or, well, attempt some airplane ears. Yeah. You want a good nose here. Sort of a Princess Bride, drop your sword moment. That's what I'm thinking's going on here. Get a little closer for some eyeballs. And we do want him to have the big, excited goober eyes. Because they're hunting after all. Whoops. Oh, Control C. Control C, Control V. That's what I was wanting to do. Control T. And rotate. Saves me from having to draw another eye. Woo! Although I might have to redraw the pupil. But hey. If it's in just the right pose, sometimes you can get away without having to redraw the eye, and that is awesome. Yep, efficiency. Give him a bit more of a smile, maybe? Yeah, I think a little bit more of a... cheeky smile going on. All right. Then let's get his hair in, which is a fun sort of curly texture thing, like a wavy texture thing going on, which I am kind of a sucker for a good wavy hair. Hey Avery, how's going? Now, obviously this character has a bunch of stripes. I'm not really going to deal with a lot of the stripes at the moment because it would be very time consuming, but I will put them in the final. I'm just going to put a note to myself so I remember it. Remember tabby stripes. I'm putting a few in on his face that I remember. There we go. Now let's give him some clothes. And shorts, crop-bolero with elbow-length sleeves. Okay. So they're thinking more of like okay, hear me out. We go full fun piratey. They have sort of this open shirt type setup, or well, since we want to make it a bolero, like a shirt vest combo, weird thing. It'll be cute, trust me. Oh, thank you. Then some shorts. Again, with my Perchant for Historical Art, I'm doing like some cropped piratey shorts. And I apologize to Tim if this isn't exactly what he wanted, but I'm having fun with it. He's gonna look cool, I promise. Very fun swashbuckler type design. And I should probably finish up his tail and call it done. You know, sometimes I think I should make a tail brush. You know, just one that's like already preset to be a certain amount of length apart. And then I don't have to like try and keep tail size consistent. And then I can taper it however I want. I don't know. Something. It'd be nice to have a tail preset, I guess, or figure out some way to do that. Little bit of indication of tail fluff right there. I'm almost tempted to like do a sash. But I think that would be stretching the prompt. And then we got, yeah, like a, again, really shitty second sword, but I promise, well, I mean, something like a double line brush, because like I've seen those where it's like you draw and it draws two sets of lines like this. So if I had something like that, but then set so that I could taper it with like, I don't know, maybe pressure or something. Like the lighter I press, the lighter I press, the closer they get, and the harsher I press, the wider it gets. That'd be nice to do for like a tail brush. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do a few other marks to indicate some other markings for when I'm doing cleanup, which is like his paws and he's got a white underbelly. But yeah. I think that's looking good. Or good enough to get to clean, good enough to pass until cleaning. And I'm gonna put Tim cosplay. Not Tom, Tim. There we go. I think that looks good. And again, there's a lot that I need to fix up on it, but I can take the time later. So right now, it is time for a new victim. Alright, let's see if this one breaks the streak of all going in a row. Spin the wheel! Nope, gotta spin again. This wheel is not liking the highs and lows. Okay! Finally! Number 10. I'm going to double check real quick that we didn't get any new responses. Good. And let's see what number 10 is. I mean, I could take the wheel, I could take them off, but like, it's easier just to spin again. And things will get confusing if I do that, you know? Alright. So, 8K. Looks like you want a person turning into a hydrangea talking with their new head hands. Just upper body is fine to save time for other sketches. Cute! Cute, cute, cute. Alright. I love how they're like little sock puppets. Sock puppet hands. And let's go ahead and doodle our unfortunate fellow. Turn this up a bit so I can see what I'm doodling. Now let's get their neck sort of extending. Like, head's partial way through. Maybe a little bit of these wings back here. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can still hear my puppy being a whiner in the background, but she's still there. Well, I say my puppy, but she's my sister's, you know. And I'm assuming artist's choice for our for the actual human design, so I'm just going for it. Just winging it. I want this face to be a mixture of not quite full hydration, but also not quite human anymore. Yeah, let's get this sort of. Got definitely a snaky upper head going on. And sorry, got a bit concentrate-y there, so I wasn't like making as much noise as I should. And then let's get this like sort of hair turning into that crown thing that Hydragen's got going on. Rotate a bit so I can get this curve nice and good. Oh, the no delivery? Yeah, I got it off of Itch.io a while back. I got this big old bundle of fun, like, indie RPGs a while back, and I played it a little bit. I am not very good at it, but it's fun. I played it at a LAN fest, at a LAN party. like, I'm trying to make it so that this is like sort of part of their hair and also sort of part of the neck ruff thingy that's going down, that they got. Like it's all sticking up. If y'all want to see what games I have on my desk, currently this is the game pile. Down here is where I keep stuff like what's it called? The new like coffee buns, the some of the Mouse Tea sequel stuff. But yeah, that's some of my games. Okay. And they've also got some like, I'm not sure if this is fur or scales. I think it's more fur. Feels like fur. And I'm gonna get like some of it coming down their chest. And some of it spiking up to start to be wings as well. Nope, it's just a cute little game hidden object game where you find cats. Okay, let's get one of these other heads in. We want a snaky head. Snaky head. These heads are kind of hard to do. They're hard to do and make look intimidating without looking like Muppets. Doesn't this just look like evil Kermit the Frog? You know? Evil Kermit the Frog. I think I need to change this eye shape. Up top and then turns down. Then this sort of like covers up top here. So you got one where it's like you see part of it, and then this, and then that, and under the chin as well. One serious, one Muppet head. Let's adjust the arm positioning just a bit so we can give this guy more of a human body because he's still in progress, you know? So I feel like I should adjust this fur a bit. Maybe make the neck a bit wider and thicker. Put the arm in first this time, and then we can do the Muppet head. Get some lines of scales running down here. Then in this case, I'm gonna cheat just a little and make it so you don't really see this second head. Get a few more of these little like strands coming, I think. Yeah. End up very furry rather than snaky. Maybe I should take one of these eyes and like fill it in with blackness like the... Yeah, I think that'll work. That looks good. And get a little bit more teeth in this all. I know they don't have teeth, but they get teeth. Yeah. Hydrating time. I'm almost tempted to like make part of this almost fingery, like these are fused together fingers. Yeah, let's get a little creepy weird with it. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that. What do we think, chat? I think that's good for the time being. Alright. Scooching everything over just a bit so I can see what I'm doing more. And time to pick another one. All right, number 3. And it looks like it is Scuzz. Yay! And looks like you want Anthro Slitherwig TFTG, about 80% TF'd. Hoodie turning into a crop top, long braided hair, exceedingly fluffy, shocked, excited emotion, very cutesy. Alrighty. Let us go pull up our reference. Okay. And I'm assuming we're starting human with this. Guess it's Moth Knight, yeah. Either or form with blue hoodie. Let's start human just because I like having it be a good base. And of course, Slitherwing. Whoops, that was not the thing to grab. Okay. I'm gonna just check out the original base Pokemon form. As well. Okay. So it's mostly fuzzy body with a reptilian tail. Moth day. Moth and Pokemon Moth. Okay. Let me go ahead and want shocked / excited. Trying to figure out a pose. I almost kind of want her sitting. Like she fell over. After being too. Yep, looks like you missed us going going to do a Slitherwing TF. Yeah. Something like that. Shocked enough to fall over is the good pose. Put some body in here. And then looks like the ref you're thinking of has some more chubby style thighs. So let's put that down. And then open link and new tab. Let's look. Still got sort of bug type feet. Ripped clothing on the wings and tail. Yep, course. So let's have this fur almost acting like pseudo pants. And then sort of segmented insect type foot. Is what I'm thinking. Because we want that insecty like bit, as well as the reptilian-y bit. A little bit of stomach and midriff. Okay. How many legs does this thing have? Double check. Okay, it does just have 2 front arms, 2 back legs, and a tail. Which is sad, because it could be funner. And again, with this ref that you sent me, looks like we're looking at a little bit of a pear shape with a belly. So let's go ahead and I think we want more, rather than focusing on what's it called? Rather than focusing on lack of limbs, let's focus on a nice chunky tail. instead. A thick, chunky tail. Then put some hands in. Again, we're going kind of stylized. Also because we want that dinosaur-y feel. Slightly dinosaur, slightly slightly insect. And then last time I did a Volcarona TF. I got the head shape down pretty good. So let's work with that. Whoops. Get back up there. Going back and forth I want, but I might just save the TFTG for a com or that 3-phase thing. Well, if you're here for the long term, you got lots of opportunities, so don't worry about it too hard, honestly. You've always got, that's the thing, you're always going to have more chances. So don't worry too much about getting it perfect in the first try. And then we pull these fun horn things around. And said we wanted some long braided hair. So let's get some fluff in around the neck because we want to emphasize the fluffy. Maybe like some thick braids coming down. Almost. Yeah. I want some very fluff. It's a bit too curved of a nose. Let's pull the reference sheets back up. Oh yeah. Struggle for clothes is definitely in her future. That said, she does have some fierce eyeliner on already, so it's one thing she doesn't have to worry about. Let's make these eyes a bit more correct. There we go. A little more busty? Sure. Let's get these horns in. I keep drawing way too thickly. This is not need to be this thick of a line. Okay, let's make some adjustments here. So these go like right up to the mouth. Then we have our first little branch off right here. And then more of this curve. Another spurt out. And then up. Or well, up and away. Like, because they end up turning out this way. And this, so this one needs to curve up out and away too. And here's a nice fluffy full head of hair. Need to adjust this hairline just a touch. I'm not happy with that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm a bit happier with that. Yeah. That's better. And let's take that hoodie and have that poor sucker barely recognizable. Like, I'm thinking these arms got all the way down here because they've been torn. These sides are pretty much gone. And, like, just the bare bones of this hoodie are left. It is rag hoodie. Although let's just double check the original human I already had busted sleeves. Or, well, I guess the blue one didn't have busted sleeves, so let's say it's this blue one that's getting new busted sleeves. Then I'm gonna have like fur on these sides and then make this stomach bit scaled like the tail. Stick the hints of another foot back over here. And it looks like we've got sort of a funky shape going on, like a ridge down here, down the center of the tail. Because it is kind of like sort of trying to bridge between insectoid and lizardy. So let's try to respect that, I guess. And it looks like these spots here are on the bottom. So let's put them in on the bottom here, because we're looking at the bottom from this view. And put a few of these spikes in. Wrong way. Not super happy with this pose, but I'm gonna pull it down. Nope. Just want this bit. Control C, Control V. No, Control Z. Control X, Control V. Son of a gun. I'm going to murder things. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Please just let me grab. There we go. Thank you. Let's continue. Let's move her over to this side so that I can have room to play around with it. I think the top isn't in proportion to the bottom is what's making me annoyed. Like, in general, her head should be a little smaller. And I need to clear up in here a bit, honestly. Am I just erasing all the work I just did? Yes. Is it because it's gonna make it better? Yes. Let's see. Mostly because I need to define her leg, you know? More. It needs to look like she's actually sitting. So let's give her a bit of a booty. And recreate this dino leg. So it looks more like she's sitting on the tail and it's coming through her legs versus just like having too much stuff going on. Let's double check what sort of pants she was wearing and figure out what sort of remains of pants she should be wearing. Oh, I've got a kitty on stream. My kitten Skimbleshanks is visiting. He's very sleepy right now because he had to go get his some vaccines today. Oh, yep, looks like we got some shorts. And honestly, I'm imagining they're mostly torn up, but they're sort of hanging on. And then let's get that fur right there. And then some dragon scale. I'll make you even bustier. And yeah, I think this is working better than it was because I differentiated the body. Yep, I got my little boy Skimbleshanks. He's a good baby. Most of the time. He did try and get into my paintbrush when I was painting something last night, and now he's got like a little bit of paint still stuck on his paw. Alright. Let's get them big, beautiful wings in. I'm gonna have this wing also sort of sitting on the floor. And then it's got fur on top of the wings. So let's add that in here. And diamonds. Looks like there's a couple. Yeah, they're strawberry wings. I imagine these ones are just... these ones are a little wrinkly because they're just hatched or whatever. Mid-TF. Add a couple of lines on this to indicate volume. Get a little fur popping over the collar. And I think I am pretty happy with that. What do y'all think? Look good? I was thinking I think I'm taking the cheater's way out and having this left arm be kind of hidden here behind the wing, all the wing stuff going on. I'm imagining she's putting it in a similar pose to the one that's right on here, and it's like, oh, like holding her up. if you're very good at art, you can get away with cheats like that and not, yeah, you have to do it subtly though. Alright, so let's go ahead and put your name on it, Scuzz. And go on to our next one, because we are hitting 7 o'clock. See how many we can fit. Alright. Done. Spin. Oh. Option number 1. Let's see who got in first. Who was our first person? Most excited? Wernimal. Awesome. Looks like they want my human transforming into a chocobo. Okay, okay. Time for some burb. Let's go ahead and pull out our reference material. Callie, awesome. And then chocobo. I am not intimately familiar with Final Fantasy. These are good chickens, though. Good chickens. I am vaguely aware of the chickens. Probably do some adjusting here, just so I can have room to draw everything. Select, deselect. Let's go erase some stuff on here. Just clean it up a little bit in general. Whee. Okay. I picked up the wrong pen again. Hey, Skimble. Hey, Skimble Bimble. Alright. Callie's hair already kind of looks like a chocobo. Hello, Skimbles. He's playing around behind the monitor. He's also wondering where the bed is went, because usually I keep a little cat bed on my desk so that, while I'm regularly using my computer, I can have the kittens right there in arm's reach to pet. But when I'm streaming, I have to put my keyboard where their bed usually is, and so it's a tragedy, absolute tragedy. Okay. I kind of want to do like a bent over pose. Like, she just got the big old chicken fluff butt happening. Let's make sure I can... Okay. Like, I want like 1 foot up in the air, you know? 1 foot down. And maybe some tail burst action. I don't even know what a chocobo saddle looks like, but yeah, maybe. That could be a cute TF, like, trigger. Like they were jokingly putting on the saddle and then, well, guess you're a chocobo now. I want sort of like unbalanced, you know, because they're in the middle of transforming, so like sort of like unbalanced because of all the changes going on. This is not a good spaghetti, but it's a good start. I'm gonna start here, at least. They have some rather magnificent tail feathers. And our character has let's like I want these pants to be just absolutely busting off because of the tail feathers. And then I've got some good feather in here as well. Sort of a ostrich-like legs. Oh wait, I was gonna put this saddle on. Let's put it on there. Sort of have it be the thing that's holding this sort of together. There we go. And then put the rest of our body in here. Or well, let's work on the feet first, actually. Got some good raptor talon-y feet. Nice and chunky to help balance this thing. Gonna have the second leg up in the air, kind of just in a freak out pose. I might be drawing that way too big, but I can shrink it. That is the nice thing about digital, being able to shrink things and adjust on the fly. There we go. Now let's finish putting in the rest of the human bits, which is important. One hand sort of up in the air like that, and one hand sort of flailing. And the head looking back. Do I want the head sort of mid-beak? Yeah, let's go mid-beak. Let's get a little bit more detailed of an eye. get a couple of feathers on that neck. And then she already has very floofy hair, and that's going to translate well into chocobo, like, head crest deal that it's got going on. Oh, well, good to see your connection's back. Let's see, there we go. Get some bird-inspired hair. Clean up this bottom jaw a touch. Zoom out. Yeah, feather hair is definitely becoming a theme, I guess. Let's go ahead and get a arm in here. I am rather sleepy today. What about you guys? It's a good sleepy day, isn't it? Nice and cozy. And let's get sort of a shocked hand up here. That's not a good thumb. Eh. There we go. That's better. Maybe we cheat with this other arm and make it already winging. Yeah. Just gotta add that. Alrighty. What do we think? Cute? Cute, cute? Alrighty. Let's go ahead and call it good. This is for Wearanimal. We've got about 30 minutes left. Let's see if we can get one last TF in. spin our wheel. All right. Option 3. Didn't we do our option 2, option 3? No, we did option 4. Oh, yeah, we did option 3. Gotta roll again. We did option 15. Come on, wheel. Giving us doubles all day. Okay, option 4. And looks like it is Drake. Mid-TF of my Sona from Ivy to Deadlock. Okay, let us take a look at our reference images. Okay, Ivy, Deadlock. And, oh, my Sona into Ivy from Deadlock. Okay. Okay, so they're like sort of a gargoyle. And that's our Sona. Okay. See what we can do. Gangly gargoyle gal with lots of vines. Let's make a bit more room. Real quick. And see what we can do. I might not complete this sketch in time, just, you know, depending on how it goes. If not, I'll complete it off stream. Okay. So we got our very standard guy with just a nice t-shirt and hoodie. And let's get on the right layer. Let's see. I'm gonna look up this character just to see some original ref images, because okay. That is a very less low res than I thought it was. Okay, cool. Okay. Gotcha. Just so I can get a better understanding of the body shape. I think I want to just sort of steal this pose almost and have the wings ripping through. That'd be nice. Oh, need to turn this up a bit. Yeah. Have this leg already goily. And this leg's still human. and like both hands on the ground as they're like, let's make this smaller so I'm not taking up the entire bottom half here. Let me zoom on in. Yeah. Hi, Wernable. You got picked last time. Hope you like it. And we got some wings going on for this one. Let's go ahead and get some hands on. And turn this opacity down. Start going to town. Let's get this gargoyle-y foot done up first. And then the leggy. While we make sure that this still other foot still reads as human. Got our guy just in some regular socks. And let's put his like hoodie on. But he's becoming ganglier and outgrowing it, so alrighty. Let's have a strip of cloth that's in the middle of being torn off here. Try to imply some good motion. 1, 2, 3, so it's like that more, yeah. And let's put the other wing in. All right. Then get some pants on. And this tail is kind of like protruding over the pants is what I'm thinking. It's still growing, so it's not a big tail yet. let's maybe make this go up a bit. Get them bumps on, because it looks like she's got some fun little bumps. And then almost like a I don't need that. Don't jump up. Like, I know it's some sort of little ornamental thing, but we're not going to get that detailed here right now. Let's put the rest of this hoodie in. And then last but not least, a head. I think we're not gonna go full. We're gonna do like little hints of the TF starting on the head, but not all the way yet. Like, thank you, large reference sheet. I think there's a headshot down here. Yep, okay. Like we're getting some ears coming in. And this nose is starting to happen. But things are happening too fast to really sorry, I am not wording well today, not braining well today. Give the little thing. There we go. Yeah. Sorry, I am not braining super well now. You can definitely tell it's getting to the end of stream when I start losing words and that stuff like that. Let's get this hair done. I think I want to move these eyes more up into the these pupils more up into the eye. Like the shock of the wings has just barely hit him. I like the positioning, but honestly I just want to make it a bit more like blown out, like barely pinpricks. Yeah, there we go. This chin is maybe a bit far back. And all right. pretty happy with that. I mean, obviously some cleanup needs to be done. Get some hands done. Yeah. I am pretty happy with, wait, shit, where the pants disappeared to. Let's put like one of these weird bracelet thingies over here. And so you can kind of tell that the pants are also becoming gargoyle-y pants. Yeah. Lengthen the hair just a little bit up there. Yeah. Cute. Cute, cute. Let's see who that was for. It was for Drake. And it looks like we have about 20 more minutes. See if we can maybe fit one more in. All right. One last one, but if it's too complex, I reserve the right to veto it if it's too complex. Or, well, if it's too complex, I'll just finish it after the stream, I guess. Stop picking the same ones. Oh, a little space filler? Maybe. Maybe. Alright, number 8. My Sona being TFTG into Primarina. Okay. That's cute. I could probably do something with that real quick. Yeah, we're gonna still go just a little bit. I'll finish. I probably won't get to the end of this one, but we'll finish. I'll get at least a base ref in, and then I'll finish it off stream. Mm-hmm. I almost want to take this tail and have it be becoming the Primarina tail. Let's put them over here in this corner. Maybe like they're in water. Yeah, I think they should be floating. Like they're in the beginning of becoming a Prima. So they've still got sort of the fox ears going on. They're getting a Primarina, like, mane. and their face shape is changing a bit. And maybe like do a little bit of leg merging here to become the Prima tail. And then we wanted TFTG. I'm kind of assuming still Anthrotina. I'm glad you like it, Drake. Get some frills going down. Got one arm going that way, one arm going this way, and just sort of merging happening. Then got that. Alrighty. Get them a little bit of fluff in there. Okay. I'm gonna try and get at least the face in. So that we don't, so we don't lose momentum. And the face is the bit that people look at first, so let's start with that. Get that cartoony nose coming in. Foxy ears. And then let's put a little tiny sea star coming in right here. As well as starting the mermaid hair. Get a figure going. We got 4 minutes left. This kind of forms just like a bib almost down her chest. So let's go ahead and put that in. For modesty. Modesty with a hint of fur boob. It flows into a cute skirt, cute built-in skirt. Maybe we see the remnants of some poor, destroyed swimsuit. And I think since this is the end of the stream, that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. I will, of course, like I said, finish it out. Finish it out after stream. But I think we got a decently good general sketch in. Alright. I'm gonna make sure I write down who it's for so that I don't forget. And thank you all so much for coming. It's been wonderful to see all the new people. Wonderful to see all the friendly faces. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I got a lot done today, yeah. Lots done. I'll probably have it out, hopefully, in the next day or two on the socials. I am still finishing up the tail end of my commissions, so I'm gonna try and balance inking this, doing that, and then starting end of month commissions as normal. So a little bit tight, but it'll be out soon. All right, love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.